What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Coming off the heels of what some people are calling the worst show ever.
The horror.
It's the worst wrestling podcast review show ever. Welcome to another edition of Spot Monkey Radio. The gang of 3.5. Myself,
Wow.
Malik Williams.
They could see. They could see me on stream.
They can see you on stream.
They can see me on stream.
You're on stream. You're
Yeah.
just not on Discord.
And I'm not using the webcam. I can turn on the webcam if you guys want, so you can see.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I can see you on stream, so we're good. I don't no idea. As long as other people can see you, I
You
don't
can see my ugly face. Yeah, don't worry.
Disrespect.
This is the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
So let's get rid of some of the okay things of the night.
What was good
All
about
right.
it?
Wow.
I didn't say good. I said okay.
So there was no good.
All right.
There was no
First
good.
off, for the kickoff show, Kevin Owens and Murphy. Not a bad match. It was not a horrible match. Like it was okay and everything. It just had no point to me. That was it.
I got an opinion.
Please.
I mean, I can say something on that. I did not see that match. I was making nachos, so I'm quite certain it was a good match. I mean, Kevin Owens doesn't really have a bad match. Murphy is an awesome talent. Could have just been seen as a follow up from Kevin Owens and Rollins 1-on-1, and obviously Murphy wasn't around anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. The next match, the main first match of the night was New Day versus Cesaro and Shinsuke for SmackDown Tag Team Championship, and Cesaro and Shinsuke pull off a victory, which I kind of found a bit shocking. I didn't think they were actually going to win it just yet, so I thought that was pretty good. Good for them.
Nakamura now is only a world heavyweight title away
Grand Slam.
from winning.
Wow.
Being Grand Slam champion in WWE.
I kind of thought they were going to win the minute they said Nakamura has never won a tag team belt. And I was like, oh, he's going to win tonight. That's just kind of what popped into my head quickly. But it was a good match. Nothing wrong. Nothing too crazy about it. Exactly what I would expect from those guys. The shit show hasn't started yet. There's still hope at this point. I
mean, it was a good opener for
exactly.
What it was
Yeah.
Finish that they did with putting Kofi through the two tables. It was good. It was a good enough spot. I'm glad they actually used the two tables as opposed to doing anything with it. You know how they stack up tables and they just like leave them there in the dust?
Yeah.
Just won't be playing 2K20 in order to do some shit like that.
I kind of thought there was going to be a mistake at some point because the commentators made a point in the beginning to state, we want to make sure that everyone knows for a table match, you have to be put through the table. If you fall through accidentally, that does not count.
That's the way it's always going to go.
I just never saw it pointed out before. So I kind of thought maybe that was going to happen during the match.
The other thing that I was interested, the only reason why I was just like, with one guy going through the table, because used to be you had to put both your opponents through a table if it was a tag team table match. Now today, it's just like, just one guy, that's enough.
Yeah, because then it becomes a 1-on-2 at that point and makes the match longer. So I guess for interest of time, probably better that way.
It's not like when we saw the first tables match between the Dudleys and the Hardys, it wasn't like the partner was like eliminated and gone away. They kept them there and they kept working. I mean, obviously that's 20 years ago. Times have changed.
Yeah,
Keep me living in the past still.
I think it was my boy Heel Turn on Instagram said that they put Kofi through those Kofi through those tables so hard he's gonna speak Jamaican again in the morning. I got there eventually.
The next match was the SmackDown Women's Championship match of Bayley with Sasha Banks versus Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. This is where I guess the shit show kind of starts for me a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. It wasn't a horrible match in any way. I didn't expect Cross to win, so that came off as expected. The finish was okay. You know what I mean? It was nothing to write home about for me. That's how I felt.
I felt the match was decent. The only thing that I wasn't too fond of was the whole prep talk that she got from Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Kairi Sane. I was just like, man, at WrestleMania, you guys are all enemies. for the SmackDown Women's Tag Team titles, but now because Asuka and Kairi Sane, I guess, are baby faces now, the whole world on all of this has changed, and now we can come together as one. The world. We are the world.
Yep. Yeah. Well, now we continue on to the night where the shit show really begins.
Boom.
Right? So first we get Tom Phillips announces that Apollo Crews is unable to get cleared to compete tonight. So the United States Championship match is not going to take place. Right? MVP and Bobby Lashley come to the ring, and somehow, you know what I mean? I don't know how the rules of WWE work anymore, but MVP is allowed to announce himself that due to forfeit, he's the new United States champion. And I don't know how legit that is, because Corey Graves said on the commentation that Apollo Crews is still champion. So are we doing the whole Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon dual belts kind of situation?
Yes.
Well, if they are, it's not coming off well.
You know why? You know why?
Yes.
I'll tell you why.
Oh, please.
Because they have no fucking idea how to write new storylines, so they're just recycling old shit.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
I think Bobby Lashley's also being completely being misused again.
I like him with MVP because he needs a mouthpiece.
I love him. I love him with MVP.
Man.
The problem is that why is MVP the one fighting? You know what I mean? Why is MVP the one in matches every week? You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a boost for Bobby Lashley, not for MVP. You know, and that really irks me about the situation, because it could go a really good way, because MVP is a great mouthpiece for Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I think they're just trying to get him over as like a big time. Like I'm assuming they're trying to get MVP over as a heel, and he just wants to work with young guys. Kind of like he's kind of trying to do like Here's my thing. These guys aren't legends.
He wants to work with a young guy, Bobby Lashley.
No. I'm talking about Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews. Yeah, I'm talking about Crews. Here's my thing.
Apollo.
They're treating MVP as if he's a legend. He's not a fucking legend. We're throwing this term around now like it's. I get wrestling's fake, and I'm not trying to be one of those "it's still really me, damn it" guys.
Sorry. Actually, just to bring a point to that, real quick, from the match we were just talking about Bayley, right? On commentating numerous times, Michael Cole kept calling Bayley a veteran. What constitutes the fact that she's a veteran now? She's been going well for a couple of years, sure, fine. That's not a veteran.
I mean, she's been around for a while. I mean, if you count NXT. But what I'm saying is, Christian's a legend.
Yes, it's the Coco Beware principle.
Like I'm starting to like I'm seeing like the who's that, like clearly. I don't want to jump over because I know you guys are fucking. You got like an order how you're doing this, but
no, please.
Your legend status is not. It's not as strong as it used to be. It's not. No. I'm sorry.
It's anyone who's not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing. And then
now,
like
that's what it's become.
You like Bayley. Like I would consider Bayley a veteran because she's been around like one of the longest divas now at this point. Like I call it divas. I'm sorry, one of the female wrestlers at this point. But I mean, I like. You can't like wrestling isn't what it used to be. It's like whereas like a legend to me was a guy who could cut promos, who could work in the ring, who could do any style. That to me was a legend. Yeah. Whereas a guy like Christian, he was good, but he was a spot monkey, and he was only carried by Edge. And then when he split away from Edge, he needed a bunch of dumb bodyguards, and even that didn't get him over. Like he had to team up with Chris Jericho to get over again. So you had to put him back in the tag team. You had to get relegated back to a tag team. Christian's talented. I'm not saying he's bad, and I don't want to get people fucking hitting this thing up saying that.
I get it, but it's not the legend. The legend name has gotten thrown around.
Yeah, way too much. And it was only a matter of time before they start calling Bayley a legend.
I'm bothered because they've said the legendary Paige once, and I was just like...
Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like, hello? Yeah, she's legendary, but not for the reason that they're saying. She's legendary for a whole nother reason that no one wants to say on TV.
Legendary exploits.
Yeah.
For coming up to the main roster of what she did was a major impact, but by all means, I'm not going to throw a legend on somebody who's not even in their fucking 30s or 40s.
And didn't accomplish any, like, okay, she won the belt a few times, but she didn't, like Sasha and Bayley had a match at NXT Brooklyn that will stand the test of time in terms of women's wrestling. and what it did for women's wrestling. It basically showed people that women can perform that match, I believe, right?
Sure. Agreed.
Paige never had a match like that. So to refer to her as the legendary Paige, what the fuck are you talking about? What, you just have to be in WWE for longer than a year? You just got to survive a year?
That still makes me laugh. Keep say that again.
So now the true shit show begins, and we get to the eye for an eye match.
I like the deafening silence.
Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins, and wow, the match. I mean, it's what I expect from them two. Nothing. They didn't fall short on the fighting aspect of it, the wrestling aspect of it. When it got to the eye part, lack of luster for me. Malik put it perfectly. You know, ping pong with red marker on it. That's really basically all it looked like to me. And you barely saw. It was a little white ball in his fucking hand.
Now I didn't.
I don't know how. I don't get how pushing someone's eye socket into the corner of a stair pops it out of the thing. I could see it bursting or getting cut, or maybe blood spewing out and saying, "Oh, he bursted his eye."
I didn't watch it, so I don't know what the fuck happened.
Okay, so take it as a blessing. Wow, where can I start? Mysterio comes in, the sneak attack. Then I think the only thing that I was just like, oh, that looks kind of bugged out, was when Rollins' face was over the corner of the steps, and I was just like, that looks a little intense.
He pushed his face in a bit. Yes, I had a little hope there. A little hope there. I agree.
But in my head, I was just like, there's no way Rey Mysterio is winning this match, especially if he hasn't re-signed a contract and he's probably just working by handshake agreement. So when he either pops up on Impact or AEW, boom, he has eyes again. There's no way on earth I want to sit.
Like I said, man,
match.
I said before the show went live, but it's Jimmy King, dude. He's gonna have his eye pop out and on Raw, and then he's gonna show up on Impact the next week and go, "Oh my God, Rey Mysterio's back, and his eyes are back. He can see."
I mean, look, he wears a mask. Okay, it's a missed opportunity. They could have easily gone with some sort of fake, some fake makeup effects underneath his mask. A patch right at the eye part, you know what I mean? And let a whole bunch of blood burst out and shit. Like, just really, I mean, you're talking horror show, but there was no horror on this freaking show at all.
Actually, there was, because the way you're describing the show is horrible.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. There was a
horror.
I'll bring it. There's a point during the night where Bray Wyatt does the whole Firefly Funhouse and welcomes everybody to the horror show and stuff. About halfway through the night, he does this and says, "We've seen some horror tonight," and blah, blah. And I'm just like, what the fuck have we seen so far that has been horror related other than shitty matches? You know what I mean? And shitty storylines. You've given me nothing of horror sort in any way here.
I'm kind of glad you brought up Bray Wyatt during his little moment. When he cuts in and he was just like, roll the footage, and they show the footage of them doing karaoke, I popped for that because
that was
hilarious.
Yes.
I don't want to go backwards.
I didn't expect that.
Overall, like perform, because like I said, I didn't watch it. Was Seth and Ray good, or was it just like a bad match? Or
it wasn't a bad match.
Just the ending was terrible.
The ending was terrible for them. Yeah,
it should have just been a match, and we would have been satisfied with that.
Yeah. There's a lot of other. Yeah, I mean they'll show Seth Rollins on TV, but they're afraid to show blood.
I think it's because, and this may just be me being crazy, but I think Rey Mysterio wants to transition into like this whole like new gimmick. Maybe he's trying to do like a Deathstroke thing. It's gonna look good with masks and stuff. So maybe he's trying something different. I don't know, or maybe he just wants to phase out of professional wrestling. And being blind, you can't fly around the ring. So maybe
he didn't come up with this. There's no way he came up with this.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to be on that side of the realm here.
Yeah, I hear you, but there's no way.
I guess there's no way to defend it.
Yeah,
the only thing you could just put there is doubt. No benefit for it.
Yeah. I mean,
what bizarro world are you? this situation. Like, this is what we've
Well,
done.
because this is unheard of. Like, I was on here, and as soon as I signed into this room, I just see the look of absolute disgust and dismay on Manny and Malik's face. And I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, so this show wasn't good. It really was a horror show.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I mean,
It lived up to its name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must have. Jesus.
I'm going to say something when we talk about the Bray match, like in a little bit, that's
Let's
going to
talk about
really resonate. You know what I mean? But let's first we have Asuka versus Sasha Banks.
Can I please do the honors of this one?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I mean, it was kind of obvious that there was no way on earth Asuka was going to lose the title, but I was wrong. Because, you know, my head, the way I saw the finish going was, you know, maybe, you know, it was either she gets caught with the green mist, or maybe Sasha uses her title to block it, go for the green mist. Like, I don't know. And then Asuka somehow transitions into the Asuka lock, the crossface chicken wing or whatever. But that didn't happen that way. No, we saw the referee get misted in the eyes.
Yep.
And we saw Bailey come in.
And then we saw the death of the WWE rulebook. Please continue.
Like the thing that confused me the most was, where was Kairi Sane? Did she get knocked down, knocked out? Why wasn't she able to help Asuka? Those are the things that started to confuse me. Then afterwards, Bailey takes the referee shirt off the referee and makes the 3 count, and Sasha Banks is your new Raw Women's Champion.
And now she's Sasha 2 belts. So
It's 2 belts Banks.
pretty much the rule book is out the window. Any wrestler can put on a referee shirt, and automatically, if they do anything in that referee shirt, it is legal.
Okay, so here's my thing. What happened to the days of commissioner like Slaughter, or a general manager like Teddy Long, or director of authority like Eric Watts or Vince Russo? What happened to the days of that?
Let's go.
What
Okay,
happened to the
I
days
agree with
of
you.
having people in control
I agree.
to make these
I
matches?
agree. Now, but let's go even one less than that. Let's go just simple, just the simplest of things. What happened to head referees backstage that would run out and say, no, you can't do that, or anything like? What happened to the referees that could come out when a referee's knocked down and another referee? Who's at Gorilla?
Okay, Earl Hebner, Tim White are retired, and
That's all
Mike
those guys
Taylor
on
just got
COVID.
released.
They're all
So,
on COVID. Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Dude,
days
this is
for
the way it
days
works
of-
now. The inmates are basically running the asylum. That's the way it is. This is basically the way it is now. So it's like,
So this is like that
This-
episode of Raw where
Yeah.
Bischoff just left Raw for like a whole
yeah,
month.
essentially, because nothing, like, you can't make, like, you can get a figurehead in there, but it's only a matter of time before that gets old, and you got to turn him heel or babyface. You have to fight him, make him, put him in an ankle, because that's what they always do with general managers. They don't just have a general manager anymore, with the exception
That's
of
not true.
with the
Hold on,
exception
wait,
of
wait,
Teddy Long. Maybe Teddy Long was the
no.
longest reigning one, but even
Hold
he
on,
always
one
had his
second,
beefs,
wait.
and he always settled
Because-
it with the Undertaker.
William Regal on NXT.
Hey, see, I knew you were going to say that. William Regal on NXT. That's cool. Triple H winds up always being there somehow. To
Yeah.
make some sort of stipulation.
And that's
So
fine.
that's the counteract
That's
to
fine.
that.
But William, that's the counteract. But William Regal has stayed as an actual legit general manager of NXT, even in storyline, and it's worked. So why not just give us the actual, just the person that makes those decisions? No heel, no face, just the person who makes the right decision, or just the decision. You know what I mean? And put them in charge of each brand, and just try it that way for a little while.
Here's an idea. I have an idea.
Definitely
I have an idea. Why don't we have a special thing that they can do where one of the wrestlers, if they don't like the call, they can throw a flag out of their tights, and then the commentators can call down to New York, and we can, watch it and make sure that it was the right call. And then if the wrestler gets it right, he gets an extra one later in the match. So if he wants to throw another flag, he could throw it. I don't know what we'll call it. Maybe something like, I don't know. I don't accept that, so I want to fight it. I don't know what kind of word we can put there for that, but maybe we'll cross that bridge when we come. We should come up with that for these guys, since we're trying to make wrestling like an actual sport, so we can put on ESPN.
They should have it. They should have referees when they botch a call.
Yeah.
Get a call in their earpiece. You
get-
might want to look at this. You might want to look at this over again. Yes, I'm trying to bring VAR.
I get that it's sports entertainment, and there's supposed to be an obvious, entertainment aspect of it and a fantasy kind of aspect to it.
Yeah.
Okay. However, it is still a sport that needs athletic ability to do, right? And there is still a need for some sort of structure. You know what I mean? It is so broken from the past half a year so far, and I forget COVID because it's been before COVID.
No, well,
okay, it is so broken. Like the entire system of what they're doing backstage. In and out, people are management in, management out, management in, management. First it was Bischoff, then it was Paul Heyman, then it was we're just it's reminiscent of WCW issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's all it's becoming right
because,
now.
it's one of those cliche sayings, but if you don't die a hero, you live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah,
and that's essentially what they become.
If you don't go out of business, you live long enough to see yourself become WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Manny, it sounds like you're running for the position of commissioner. That was a great campaign speech, like your stump speech. I can help wrestling. Take it forward into
will make wrestling great again. I promise you. I mean, if you had to pick a general manager, though, who would it be? And that's the thing, because the general manager has to speak. They have to be able to command attention. Who's going to be the legendary Paige?
Listen, she was general manager at one point.
Definitely not.
If she wasn't promoting her movie, she probably would have been still in that position.
Or maybe, or do you want them to bring the icon AJ Lee back?
If it wasn't for the fact that they have MVP wrestling,
MVP would be a good general manager. I agree with that.
if it wasn't for the fact that they had him wrestling, I would have said put him in that spot. But,
I agree with that.
That's no longer doable.
I'm okay with
I feel like
I'm okay with any legend or any older wrestler to bring back that can actually I just want someone that does that William Regal for NXT. You know what I mean? That just calls it straight down the middle.
You want Jack Tunney.
You know what I mean?
You want them to bring back Jack Tunney.
Yeah. Jack Tunney, Gorilla Monsoon. You know what I mean? Those kind of guys came out when it mattered. You know what I'm saying? When it really, really mattered and they had to make the call, or they would send out a head referee to say, here's what backstage is saying. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just better that way with a little bit more structure.
I would have even been fine with, even though he obviously tested positive for COVID, so I don't even know if he's back. I would have been fine with Scrap Iron, Adam Pearce coming on out and flipping the script and changing the stipulation the same way he made a battle royal for the during the Intercontinental title tournament a month or so ago. Like, I would have been fine with that because then there's somebody back there doing something. This tonight, with MVP awarding himself as the champion and only making a 3 count, I was just like, you lost me today. You lost me tonight.
Wow. This is your lowest point ever as a wrestling fan?
A little shocking saving grace here. Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. Wasn't a horrible match, obviously, because Dolph Ziggler can always put on a great match as well as Drew McIntyre. And they know each other, so I don't expect a bad match. I will say I was wrong. I did like the stipulation they did correctly. It worked towards Dolph Ziggler's character and the way his personality for his character is, so I was perfectly fine with it. Him just coming out and saying, Extreme Rules, but only for me. You got to fight legit. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That's a really creative way to go about doing a match like this.
Yeah, well,
you know
it's
what
different.
I mean? Exactly.
Something different.
And it works. It's right up Dolph Ziggler's lane. You would expect that from his kind of character. Like, he's going to make himself obviously have as much of the handicap in his favor as possible.
Yeah.
But he lost. You know what I mean?
Big surprise.
Big surprise.
This is around the time where Ziggler does his thing. He came back out of nowhere while Kofi was champion. Kofi over X amount of times. He's doing the same thing for Drew. this is what Dolph Ziggler does. It doesn't come as a surprise to anybody. And when he does it well.
Listen, no one has ever said that he's not talented.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the same shtick now for the last 15 years with him. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's just getting old with him.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know,
Yeah, he's definitely talented.
It's just like the same thing. All right, it's like one of those things. It's like, who are we gonna have come in and challenge for the title and just drop it? But bring in Dolph. Dolph will do it. Yeah, let's bring in this guy.
Right.
It's always the same fucking guy. It's like at this point, like we get it. He can work. Like we get it. Like he's good. Like he puts guys over. Like how many times are you gonna give us the same shtick with that fucking poor guy? Like how many times do we have to watch it before
many
you just
times
like?
they keep throwing money at his feet and be like, "Hey, could you do this?"
It's annoying. Like,
okay,
I'm not
well,
saying that like,
we'll do it.
and no, yeah. And when it comes to like that shit, where it's like the guy's just doing it to get paid. That's one thing. The guy's just doing it for a paycheck. I get that. But like the writing though, like you don't turn around at some point and go, "Yeah, we do this to the same guy all the time. Can't we try somebody new?" Like nobody turns around and says we should try something different. We bring in Ziggler for the same routine every fucking 6 months. Like we can't change something up. Like maybe get him a win. Maybe throw him off the trail, shock everybody, let Drew chase the belt until SummerSlam.
They tried that.
Like,
the problem is that Ziggler goes out there and his promos are always the same. He says the same thing every time. It's always, I've been here forever. I've done all the work. I'm the best there is. I'm the best in the world. But I keep getting the shit end of the stick.
You know what it is everybody tries to recreate a pipe bomb promo when they give them the mic. Yeah, hey, go out there and tell everybody how you feel. And they always try to recreate that. And it's always the same shit.
Just repeating it.
Yeah, I've been held down. I'm sick of it. I want this. I'm a champion. I deserve this. Like, well,
exactly.
Guy.
It gets old after a while, and all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, you deserve it, but you're annoying now, so we don't want you to have it.
I don't know.
That's all it's come down to.
I like Drew McIntyre. He's pretty good.
He won't keep it new.
Drew's very good.
Drew's good. Drew's actually doing very well during the current situation as well, too. You know what I mean? He definitely got the shit end of his stick on his first title, win and stuff like that. But he's doing well. It's gonna suck when he has to lose it to Randy next, because that's where it's going. Randy's gonna definitely take the title from him. It sucks that we didn't see Randy versus Big Show tonight. I don't know why. We spoke about it earlier. I don't know why it's on Mondays.
I'll tell you why, because they're trying to get ratings back.
Yeah, probably. But
they want to get ratings back for Raw.
Yeah. And then we move on to the main event of the night. Strowman.
Hold on a second. I don't have that on my list. That's not on my phone. Okay. Like I said, I only missed one match, and the only match that I have here that was the main event was Drew versus Dolph. Thank you all for coming and watching tonight. A good one, fam. There's nothing further that we need to discuss from here on out. If you saw Extreme Rules, that's all that you saw. Whatever he tells you is a lie.
We got to talk about it, man. I'm going to say this is the thing that I'm going to say that will echo between us for a long time. And Greco's right.
I know, right? The one time he's here.
Greco is right.
Thank God he's here to hear that.
I was all for cinematic matches when it happened at WrestleMania. They did them very well. It made sense. Yes, the John Cena one was a little out there, but it still fell into a certain realm of feeling real. Okay? This tonight did not feel real in any way whatsoever, and completely made absolutely no positive sense to me in any way for their wrestling storyline moving forward. The ending to it was the horror of it all. The way the Fiend got, okay, so pretty much I'm led to believe that the Fiend has mandible clawed Braun under the water and pops up, and what? So now Braun Strowman's dead?
Fuck.
Yep.
I want to revisit the Alexa Bliss part.
So the Alexa Bliss part was awesome. I will say was the one good thing for this match. Okay, literally Wyatt. The after Wyatt's done fighting and then fights the ghetto Harper and
Rowan.
And Rowan, excuse me, yes. Why we had to see their faces, I don't know. They should have just put them in the masks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy was, but we had to see his face for some reason. And Braun Strowman pushed him next to a fire. He caught fire. Braun Strowman's laughing as this guy is bursting in flames. Then we finally see what do you call a voice? You hear a voice telling Strowman to come home, and it's a girl's voice and stuff. And in the fog, we see it's Alexa Bliss and stuff. And she's got that shroud over her, like the way they did the Sister Abigail and stuff. And she was saying stuff like, we can be together. She knows that's what he's always wanted. Just come home. We can be. I thought that was great. You know what I mean? Because they did have a very long run as a mixed tag team on the other shows and stuff.
Yes, but does that mean that Sister Abigail is just your dark fantasy?
No. This was I'm just saying she kind of looked like Sister Abigail, but they didn't call her that. It was just kind of a hallucination for him. The whole thing was
yes, but that's what I'm saying. Is that what Bray Wyatt finally means? Sister Abigail could be your dark twisted fantasies or whatever the fuck.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Now here's the question. Here's the real question. When he sees her in the WWE universe, does he look at her and go, "Oh, whoa, I can't look at you the same way anymore." Or if she goes up to him and goes, "So, we need to talk. What the fuck was that about when you was in the swamp?
Yeah.
Why are you seeing me, pal?"
Ride together.
Yeah. What's that about, pal? Why don't you got some explaining to do?
That's what I want to see.
And if I'm being quite honest, if I was Ryan Cabrera, I'd be a little nervous.
This whole match was apparently directed by Bray Wyatt, Triple H, and was it Bruce Pritchard?
Yeah, he's in charge of
I want to say
the head writer.
So them three were the three that led the whole thing. The stunts were done by the same guy who did the stunts for Fast and the Furious. I didn't see anything Fast and the Furious in this match-esque. No stunts.
There's nothing fast or furious about this.
There was.
Dude, the fact that they're bringing in stunt teams now to
there was nothing stunt-like, Tony, at all. The biggest the only move you saw was a choke slam into a small boat about maybe 5 feet underneath him.
That's because it wasn't a match. It was supposed to be a fight, and I was just like,
fine.
if Braun Strowman's out, I was like, if Braun Strowman's out in the street fighting like this, I'm not believing it.
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So did Bray Wyatt win?
No, there was no winner or loser. It's pretty much
It was just a fight.
Yeah.
And at the end, Freddy Krueger came out, and that was that. The end. I'm going to say something very unpopular. Once again, like I did last week. When I said I was looking forward to watching Slammiversary, I meant everything that I said, and it was better than Extreme Rules.
That's
the big shock.
You're not the only person saying that. I've read that a few people said. One person I saw a meme that showed WWE, AEW, and then they were like, no one's paying attention to like NXT no one's paying attention to Impact quietly like surpassing them in terms of like how good the wrestling is.
I think WWE's at a point where
I watched.
They don't do something, if they don't make a change or do something drastic soon, they are 100% going to be in danger of losing.
I watched Impact.
AEW and Impact soon.
Was it every few Wednesdays, every now and again, I'll pop on a Tuesday when it's on. And from what I see from Impact, I'm like, it's good if you like this kind of brand of wrestling, which is very indie based. Yeah. So if you like that kind of wrestling, Impact's for you. I would, if I had to if you said to me right now gauge wrestling, I would say in terms of my opinion, it's AEW, Impact, then WWE. I'd watch those two over WWE first now.
Sadly, that's what it's becoming at the point.
Yeah.
So if it was me, I would just say New Japan and then everything else.
See, I can't watch. I can't do New Japan. I'm sorry. Can't get in that boat with you, bud.
Listen, I used to feel the same way, and then I decided to go get the app, and my eyes have been open. My world.
I know, but I know the wrestling is good. It's not bad. It's what you expect from Japan. But it's just I'm sorry to sound like this. If I don't understand the language, I don't want to read my television shows. I don't want to read subtitles.
Yeah, I'm not reading them. I got Kevin Kelly. It's not a bad comment.
Kevin Kelly's all right, yeah, I guess, but I'm just not like I don't know. I'm just not into it. I can't
There are
follow
a
the
lot of people who
storylines.
feel that way.
Yeah, I
You're
just
not
can't
alone
follow the
there.
storylines.
Yeah.
I'm not into them, and it's always very because it's Japanese wrestling, so it's always honor based. You know, the promos or like the storylines are always like this guy. I don't like this guy because he's like I'm better competition. I'm better wrestler. It's always like that kind of shit. I like the cinematic stuff. I just think it's not done right. I think that's the problem right now. It's just
That's 100% it.
it's
yeah.
not done right in terms of like they're trying to make it too like ooh look at this like it's just too
The
yeah.
Undertaker thing worked
Yeah.
because it felt real.
I think there's a certain
know what I
ways
mean?
there's certain ways to do it where you can get away with it. It can be cinematic, but it's just they're doing it wrong. They're trying to make it too much like a movie, and it's just like, what are you fucking
Exactly.
doing? Like, here's what I'm noticing. It's becoming sports and entertainment. It's not sports entertainment anymore.
Exactly.
That's the problem that I'm
agree.
seeing here. So, like, if they, hey, look, if you want entertainment, we'll give you these cinematic matches. And then for all the sports guys, we'll give them these great wrestling matches that really have no really like, story being told. It's just two guys doing moves to each other.
That's the problem. They've split apart the wrestling from the story. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden the wrestling's becoming less entertaining because there's no story to it. There's no, and it's some of them have a story, but there's no consistency.
I don't
They're not
know
sticking with anything. They
who
don't
in their
go
right
with
mind
anything
in the
along
production
way.
meetings was like, yeah, eye for an eye, that's a great idea. Like, I don't know who sat in that fucking meeting and was like, well,
That
this
was a Vince decision.
because
That
what?
was a Vince
But yeah,
decision
can you
all the
please
way.
explain? Like, can somebody who doesn't care about getting fired, can you just go like this and go, raise your hand and go, yeah, that's a dumb fucking idea.
Yeah.
And then when they all look at you and go, excuse me, you go,
That's-
that's the
but you know
dumbest
what?
fucking idea I've ever heard. How
You know
the
what?
fuck
You
are we
know
gonna
what?
pull this guy's eye out?
I'll bet you anything. That's why Paul Heyman got fired. Because he was the guy who definitely stood up and said, that's a dumb fucking idea.
Dude, people are when I'm seeing it, I didn't even watch the shit. And the way you explain it,
And
to
then
me,
all
I'm
of a
just-
sudden, everybody was like, oh, he's not a,
well, they said he was bullying
he's not
people.
a yes man, so we want to get rid of him.
They were saying
He was not bullying
he
people. I
bullied
guarantee-
AJ, and they said
I
he was a
guarantee
liar.
you
He lied to
he was-
guys. I don't know. That's what I was reading. Bro.
I guarantee he was definitely just he was open minded. He speaks openly. He's always been that way.
Yeah, but he's
He's
also a
always-
fat liar. He's always been one of those two. Like let's not paint fat
Anybody
ass.
who worked for
I'm not trying to turn
WECW
Yeah.
Paul Heyman to a
Let's
cause.
not,
Definitely
let's not
putting
paint
Paul Heyman
fat
to-
ass Paul Heyman as some saint. That guy is a
get it.
fucking crook. Like
I
so,
get
he's a piece of garbage, just like the rest of them. And I'm sure
I get it.
he lied. I'm sure he did, but I'm sure he did tell the truth. And I'm sure he said things to people that they didn't want to hear because people are
Agreed,
real
agreed.
sensitive. But he is a fucking liar. He's always been known.
You know that Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon do not want to be told anything other than the idea that they think is the right one.
I don't know. But even then,
That's
even
how
even
it
so, like you have to have someone turn around, like Vince Russo. I mean, every people hate Vince Russo, but Vince Russo turned around and was like, "Yeah, it's fucking stupid. We should try this way." Yeah, it's crazy and it sounds nuts, but when they tried it, it worked. Now I'm not saying go back to the attitude at all. I'm not saying that.
No,
But
no.
you need to go back to the drawing board and say this last few years of content that we've created, it's not working. It's not
Exactly.
creating a fresh. Like the same eyes that have been watching wrestling are saying that it's bad, but not only that, new eyes that are watching it aren't finding it entertaining and interesting. So we have to like really figure something out here because that's the problem.
That's exactly it.
Tonight was just a really show to watch.
I hope it's an eye opener for someone.
Now,
in
do you
WWE.
think they feel that way at WWE right now? Do you guys think that like when the show went off the air, do you think they're in Gorilla going, "What the fuck was that?" Like, do you think they all turn around, looked at each other, and going, "What the fuck are we doing here?" Or did they go off, go, "Great fucking," high fiving, yeah, another one in the books. Let's go to fucking Applebee's. Like,
I can't see how.
Personally think they say, "Nah, we got their money." That's
Yeah.
how I'm looking at it.
I listen, all
I
those.
think they
idiots.
looked. I think they looked to what Vince did, and then everybody else did what Vince was happy. They were happy. If the old man was miserable, they were miserable.
That's fucking crazy to me, dude. I don't know how. I don't know. When I watch this, new brand of WWE. It's just not, and it's not because of it. You could just clearly tell, like, it's too scripted. You're not, you got, like, sometimes when you control too much, that's a problem. And I think they're controlling too much of everything. And the reason I think a lot of it's not working too is social media. You got to understand, you can't create epic storylines between a good guy and a bad guy when those two guys are on Instagram together at a zoo later that week. It doesn't work. That's why kayfabe was so precious back then, because it had to make sense when you were in a crowd that these two guys legitimately hated each other. So if I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, it's real hard for me to do that, even as a child, when I go on social media that day and I see you with your girlfriend fucking Scarlett Bordeaux, whatever the fuck, right? And you're hanging out with the guy that you're supposed to fight that night, and you're both wearing each other's T-shirts. It's hard for me to turn around and go, yeah, they hate each other. This is going to be a good match. It's hard.
You have the Cesaro and Shinsuke, but all of a sudden Cesaro is on YouTube videos with a New Day member. They're not supposed to be doing things like that.
So Tony, I fully get and understand what you're saying. My son's godfather says the same exact thing, which is why he can't get into it as much, and he prefers to watch things from the 80s and obviously early 90s. At the same time, I'm just like, WWE puts out these documentaries of people behind the scenes doing things.
Yeah.
So everybody will go, no, that's fine.
No, I didn't like them neither.
I
only
social media.
No, I totally agree with you, 100%. But I only like those documentaries when it's the career is over. When the career is over and it's like a retrospect on the guy's career, like or like when you thought Shawn Michaels was kind of done and he did the Heartbreak and Triumph, and he was just kind of like reiterating stuff that you kind of knew, but he was just like the screw job and his pill problem and shit like that. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't like these WWE 365s where they're following the guy and he's in the locker room hanging out with the guy. He's right, like, you're giving everything away, dude. Like, I get. In 1997, Vince McMahon said it was fake.
Like where they
I get it.
Them, 24 hours before.
Yeah, but it's shit, dude. You gotta like understand. Like, you're giving too much away to a business that is supposed to trick the audience member into thinking that it's real, even when it's not. And it's hard for somebody to believe that.
You guys trying to tell me you didn't like seeing Cesaro, Randy Orton, and Rusev playing soccer over in Saudi Arabia? Nobody was saying, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, and I think Manny was about to say, like, the Undertaker documentary. I know what you're talking about, Manny, because come November 22nd, 2020, the Undertaker will have a match again. Come Survivor Series.
He will.
I guarantee that.
He absolutely will. Absolutely will. Because you know why?
I'll be okay with him having one more match.
I'm not.
Because it's not going to kill anything from the documentary. Give him
no,
one more
but
match.
he's already destroyed that gimmick. He's already destroyed that gimmick.
I don't think he should do it again.
And
he won't. But he won't come out as the Reaper and stuff. He's not going to come out.
I feel like, and I could be in the minority here, but I feel like that documentary was literally him just apologizing for the last year of his career. Sorry for the Goldberg match. Sorry for Roman Reigns. I'm really sorry. That's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. Like, and here's the thing. And listen, this is coming from a guy who watched him debut and was never like, I fell in love that day and never stopped. Okay, his career should have ended when he lost to Brock. He shouldn't have come back. There shouldn't have been no rematch. That was it, dude. You're at that point. His legacy was built on the streak. You end the streak, you end the dead man. That's it. There is no more. He's not fighting for titles no more. He's not fighting in storylines no more. He comes back at WrestleMania. He defends the streak. He goes back to the dark side. That was the whole fucking mystique of The Undertaker towards the end. Now, Brock Lesnar walks in. You want to put him over as a fucking beast. I understand why he was the guy to end the streak. He could be the only guy to end that streak. With the exception, if the crowd would have embraced Roman Reigns. If the crowd embraced Roman Reigns the way they wanted him to, then he could have ended the streak. He couldn't have ended the streak with the way they were with him because they would have hated that fucking guy and you would have never turned that guy face. Okay? So it had to be Brock. So now you put Brock over and then Undertaker leaves. Now the crowd is in stunned disbelief that this guy, like, that's it. The dead man is done. I liked the way John Cena did it the next year. Please come back, and he just comes back, he kicks the shit out of Cena and he leaves. Was that it?
That was done well. That was perfect.
Then the Roman Reigns match, and then because it's like that's the problem with wrestlers. They have the one match that it's okay, they feel good after, and they go, "I think I could do this again," and then they quickly realize that they're in their late 40s, early 50s, and they can't fucking do it.
Yep.
That's the problem, dude. His career, to me, that career ended at WrestleMania 30 when he lost to Brock. I don't remember anything after that because I didn't pay attention after that because it was just like it's done. The guy has nothing left. Like, Brock knocked him in the next week because he's old. He can't hang with the young guys anymore. And Brock's not that. I'm not saying Brock's a spring chicken, but he can't hang with those fucking guys anymore.
No, but Brock is in a shape to continually.
Exactly. And Brock was at that point, he's coming off UFC. He's beating the shit out of people.
Exactly.
So, like, listen, I love the Dead Man, but it was over then. This was just some old man. And it was funny because I remember the old Undertaker fucking, this is my yard shit. And at the end of that, his fucking statement, I don't want to be one of those guys that's holding on until... The guy, you became one of those guys. That's holding on too fucking long and can't realize that it's over. You're done. Time has caught up to you. First off, you're 6'10". Your body is deteriorating much faster than a normal person's.
He's had two.
That's it. It's over. Just accept it. Like the same thing with Ric Flair. Listen, I loved Ric Flair, but when I see that man come out on Monday Night Raws now, it's like it's like nails on a chalkboard, and you could clearly tell that the booze and the fuck whatever he's been doing has fucked him over. It's fucked him up now. He's just not the same guy. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's about to get legend killed.
And here's the thing, dude. Big Show looks fantastic. He's the only one that's got better with age.
But that's just because he had to stay in shape for his Netflix show.
No, he had to stay in shape for his health because he had that giantism shit.
No, but I'm saying, like, right now, he's staying more in shape for his Netflix show, too. So he went back.
Well,
he's obviously always.
But you know what, though? He's into the next phase of his career. He wants to be an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, John Cena now, that's the thing, too. They have no restrictions because they're not under the contract anymore. John Cena now can go on the gas and get in insane shape, dude.
I mean, have you seen Roman Reigns?
Yes.
All the photos going out about him.
But here's the thing. And like I love how everybody's like, oh, during this quarantine, so many people are in great shape. Yeah, give me a fully functional gym. Give me a sponsorship to one of those food places where they just send you free fucking food every week, and I'll look like fucking Roman Reigns too. Because I'll just eat what I'm being told by a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and they're telling me how to work out because the WWE's paying for it. So yeah, you can look like Roman Reigns if you have that kind of money. But look at all these other fucking guys. Some of these guys can't have that luxury, dude. That's why some of these guys are going out into the woods and running, and they're trying to create their own fucking workouts. It's rough. It's rough for some guys. Other guys are making it easy.
Old school Brock Lesnar with the log in the backyard.
That's it. You'd be surprised what they have to do. And I don't know. I don't want to take it off topic. I know this is like for the pay-per-view, but a lot of wrestling companies now are opening up backyard shows now. I don't know if you've seen that shit going on. Parking lots. They're opening up shows in parking lots because they don't know what to do. They don't have the luxury of a performance center, man.
Malik and I might do a companion podcast for Talking Shopomania.
Yes.
Like, we are both eagerly anticipating the most anticipated backyard shop August 1st on pay-per-view.
Dude, there's a bunch of shit going on. Like, I have a ring. I could run a show.
Let's do it.
I could run a backyard show. If anybody's listening and wants to run a backyard show, let me know. I got a ring. I got the equipment. We can make work. We can make this shit happen.
Corona mania.
But it's sick. It's sick what's happening. That like the coronavirus, like this whole shit has made wrestling like interesting to me again. And I know it's bad. It's funny too because like wrestling's bad, but this whole shit you're watching it from a different scope because they have to perform in front of no crowds. It's interesting.
Yeah. With WWE, all of a sudden, without the crowd, they lose it.
Yeah.
They're losing it. That's it.
Well, you know why? It's because on these other companies, you have freedom. Because they're like, well, no one's watching, so we can kind of get away with playing around and joking with each other, having fun. With WWE, it's so scripted. It's so scripted down to the point when they come out on entrances, they literally do as if the crowd is there. And it's not. But they're so ingrained and it's so like heavily scripted where it's almost like your entrances, you come out, pander to the crowd. It probably says it to where they know that they have to do it.
What they're taught in the
NXT. So it's so ingrained that they just follow that process, and you're seeing it, and you're like, oh, my God, this is so scripted. I think that's because a lot of people's complaints about it.
Yeah, that's the part that's going to hurt them in the long run here. Yeah. It's the fact that they need to relook how they do and teach their wrestlers in the performance.
All you can hope is that at the end of this...
Now they teach them how to be able to go out there, whether there's a crowd or not, be entertaining.
All you have to hope for is that the WWE production team and the writing team is thinking the same thing that you guys are thinking right now after this horror show.
I really hope
After it goes off the air, that they all turn around and go, yeah, we got to figure something out because this isn't working.
Yeah. I really hope that Vince was in gorilla position and said that to himself, because at this point, something's got to kick.
Yeah.
This is getting This is getting worse with every show, and I do not look forward to SummerSlam at all. I do not look forward to anything at the
until
moment.
it hurts their bottom line. Until they start seeing like a ton of network cancellations.
Oh yeah, that's
like enough to hurt them in the pocket. Then maybe it'll change. Until then, until they got your money with the merchandise, and until people stop buying T-shirts and stop getting the network.
Hey. Take me next time.
But listen, you got to stop. You got to stop falling into the buy one get 3 free fucking thing.
Look, they're lucky that they have the network.
Get one for $1, folks.
Yeah, see, they get you every Monday. Buy 2 shirts, get 1 for $1.
The network is their only saving grace right now, because if any of these were legit pay-per-view shows that people had to buy, I guarantee the buy rate would be super low.
By the way, this sale ends July 22nd at 2:59 a.m. Just let y'all know.
How many shirts have you bought recently? Like, be honest.
None of your fucking business. Okay.
Do we have to have an intervention?
You may have.
We all love you. We all care about you.
Dude,
We've changed the password on your WWE shop account.
Dude, I listen. I can't even front because I drop that kind of money on action figures on a weekly basis. So you buy all the WWE shirts you want.
I'm right there with you, Tony.
Look at that shit. He's ready to go. He's got the fucking shits ready. That is sick, dude.
Anyway, that was tonight's horror show.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say.
I think we've well covered it. Impact was good, so let's be on the lookout for Impact.
Dude, watch out.
If you guys want to go into
watch out, because Slammiversary.
Impact's coming.
I'll just say this way, Impact.
Did you notice that they didn't show Heath Slater?
A wild Greco appears.
Yeah, did you know that? Did you notice they didn't show Heath Slater in any of the Drew McIntyre match promo because of the fact that he showed up at Slammiversary?
Hey, bud.
We're about ready to get off.
What happened? How did you feel about the pay-per-view?
It was okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll get your quick. Let's get his quick word.
I'm gonna do this real quick. All right, real quick. The horror show, the late match, whatever the fuck you want to call that, was as god awful as could be. I didn't hate the Drew Dolph match. I actually enjoyed that. And at first I thought the stipulation was really stupid. And then I sit there and was like, well, it gave Dolph every advantage to win. So I
works with his character.
Yeah, I Ray and Seth was fine until the end because it's just a stupid concept. Like the whole, how do you rip someone's eye out by pushing it against something?
I said that. I already argued it.
The Sasha Asuka match, I don't know what happened. First she loses her wig, then she hurts her knee, but I thought it was real, but I guess it was a work. I don't know. Maybe she tweaked it and thought she heard it. Bayley and Nikki was okay. I didn't love it. The tag match was the best match, the opener, and I was shocked by them winning. I did not think Cesaro and Nakamura would have won. I wouldn't have picked that.
You pretty much just agreed with all comments for tonight's show.
Yeah.
And he didn't even bring up the Bray Wyatt thing though.
Yeah, which means he agreed. Means he agreed with.
Yeah, we don't have to suck his dick anymore
because the league already stated that the show ended with Drew McIntyre. There was no other match after that. You know what I mean? So
and the best match from the weekend, Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace. There, I said it. Don't care.
Wow. You know why? That's because Jordynne Grace is built Ford tough. That's why. Yeah. There's a lot of beef and cheese in that ring.
Shout out to Mama Pump.
That was pretty much the show in a nutshell. We're done. I think we're done now.
I think we've done. it. So Greco got his little run in. Greco, you were right.
You were right. When it comes to cinematic matches, bro, you are definitely right. It's getting worse now, man.
Listen, it's like I said, it's not. They're not doing it right. They don't know. It's not a bad concept. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. That's exactly, the problem.
I agree.
Okay, so if they figured it out,
no, though it's not over.
Oh no, we'll see more.
No, of course not, because they're gonna constantly try to fix it while doing it. They're not just gonna go to a drawing board and then bring it back a couple months later. You know, that's what it is. You need to give people a rest with it. Let it marinate. Let people fucking just.
It's
overkill. Yeah, let people just kind of miss it a little bit, then bring it back fixed. Don't just try to fix it as you go. That's the problem.
Any news on Apollo Crews? Like, what's going on with him?
I think he has COVID.
Or does he have COVID?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I think that might be.
That has to be the only reason why they're pulling him off television and just giving the title to MVP.
They haven't said anything about any words with him or anything like that. So.
You see, and Roman Reigns, I don't go back to Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns is taking the Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal approach. I'm going to go home, I'm going to take roids, get really jacked, come back, and win the belt again. Like, that's exactly what I'm seeing with him, too, now.
He doesn't have to take roids. He's naturally Samoan strong.
Dude, he's, like, ripped out. He's shredded right now.
It's that island DNA.
You better get ready, boy, because I'm going to put the belt back on that guy the second he comes back.
Yeah.
Well, Randy Orton's gonna be like, I'm a legend killer. I kill legends like Christian. Bring out Lita. I'll kick her in the head next. Right? And then all of a sudden, from the fucking shadows, this fucking guy's gonna come back.
Real quick prediction: Ric Flair gets punted tomorrow on Raw.
Oh yeah,
I'll bet that.
Without question.
I'll take that.
You know why? I bet you he's going to try to punt Big Show, and Rick is going to go, I can't let you do that, brother. And he's going to kick Ric Flair instead. And then Big Show's going to get even more mad, and it's going to lead to a match at SummerSlam between the two. Between him and Randy.
That sounds like a good possibility.
And he's going, Big Show's going to go, I'm so angry at you. I'm a giant. Brr, can't wait to fight you. Brr. And then he's going to get his dumb head kicked into.
Yep. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. I hope WWE's watching. Maybe you can give me the head writing job. I'll fix it.
Give us all the head writing job. We'll take it.
I'll fix up.
Radio crew.
I'll fix up your problem.
Make it any fucking worse than what we saw tonight. Tell you that.
Okay, I was waiting for him to come back before we do the send off. Do you want to do the send off today, or?
This laptop is fucking rude and booted me.
Sorry.
Folks, that was our horror show about horror show. Supposed to be Extreme Rules. For Tone Bone, for Manny, Brandon Gold, for myself, and for the 2 to 3 minute interruption by Mike Greco, who should have been here from the.
That is definitely a fucking move that a fucking piece of shit politic does. Where he's like, I gotta get my shit in. Hold on, I'm gonna come in 2 minutes before, and they're gonna end the match in a schmaz. And the match is gonna end in a schmaz because I gotta come out and get my shit and hit you with a lightning spiral and play to the crowd.
I did Goldberg this shit. Came in, speared back.
Oh, so in other words, you're horrible. Good. Folks, have a good night.
Jerry Flynn of this show?
And hopefully you can watch some New Japan Wrestling at 5:30 in the morning. I'm not going to because I'd have to work. But have a good night, folks.
Bye, everybody.
It was horrible.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Absolutely horrible.
Bye.